All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of TWV's Transforming with V. I am super excited about tonight's episode because I have two wonderful guests that are on the show who are not only amazing coaches when it comes to the fitness and health industry, but I know them personally, so I'm excited about that. But before we get into the show, I want you all to make sure to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to V Bailey Network or our friends at the HBCU Lounge Network. You want to subscribe, and after the show, make sure you like and share. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. So, this evening is all about, health and fitness. And as the season is about transformation. And another reason I'm excited is because this is the area that I am looking to transform and have been transforming for my personal life and the fitness journey as well as spirituality. And so tonight we're talking about fitness and right now, I want to go ahead and introduce our guest. So first, I'm going to go ahead and introduce someone who is like a brother to me. He's my extended family here in Dallas. So welcome, Ben. Coach Ben, how are you?
Good, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you. So first, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself and just tell us who you are and what it is that you do.
Name is Benjamin Clark. I've been coaching fitness, lifestyle coaching for over a decade plus. I am originally from Fresno, Stockton, California, but now I'm in Dallas/Frisco. My mantra is elevate your level of play or performance and anything you want to do. And so I take people from, I guess my phrase is I take you from being stuck to unstuck. All right, whatever that is in your life, and I try to work through that and get you to where you want to go.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. And last but not least is Coach Mike. And Coach Mike, me and him went to school at high school together. And so I've known him for quite a while. And I'm super proud of what he's out there doing in the LA area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So introduce yourself. Let us know who you are and what it is that you do.
Pleasure for the evening. Thanks, V. What you said, Ben, I love that. I have been in the industry as well, a little over a decade. If you're an athlete, it's like an easy side hustle because people know what you're doing already. They trust within you to get them right, whatever goals they're trying to get to. So I would say my area of expertise is helping the busy person find their way. Because everybody's life is chaotic, you know what I'm saying? 2, 3 jobs, et cetera. So I slow it down a little bit and help us fill in the gaps if you're willing to make health a priority so we can get to whatever goals it is and create that funnel for you to get to your goal through. I'm like now, and I have after COVID, my business went like 90% online instead of driving around LA all day. But I mainly focus on nutrition because it's easy to work out. For most, you know what I'm saying? Whether you go do a class, et cetera, but people get results all the time. But I like my intention is to teach you how to retain them. You know what I mean? Not just for the vacation or for the summertime, but just for optimal health, let alone looking good all the time.
Yeah, me too. Because that busyness is true. You be so busy working. A lot of times you're like, okay, I don't feel like working out after I had to go fight through all that traffic in the morning to go to work, busy day at work, get off at whatever time. If you get off 5 minutes after a certain hour, you're going to be stuck for about an hour in traffic, especially out here in Dallas. So I love the fact that I get to work from home because after that hour of traffic and people driving terrible, I'm just like, maybe I just won't eat that much tonight. That's everything. Like, I'm gonna wait till the weekend. And so slowing it down and finding that time is so important. So thank you for sharing that. Well, so let's go ahead and talk about it with, health and fitness. So transforming your life, your lifestyle from an unhealthy to a healthy one is a struggle for most of us, as you all are mentioning these different areas that you guys work on, it wouldn't even be a thing if it wasn't, a struggle. And so even being consistent, with it, just being consistent, it can sometimes be a struggle. And in this country, obviously we have an obesity epidemic.
Yes.
The 69% of US citizens are considered to be overweight, and 36% are obese. And there are several different factors that contribute to achieving these high percentages: eating, drinking habits, education, culture, mental health, health conditions, and discipline, etc. So it's quite a few things that are contributing that unhealthy lifestyle, especially like in America. It's kind of like a gluttonous society. Everybody wants something quick and easy, or it's just kind of like do what you want, and don't never say no to yourself. And you have to do that because overall only 6.8% of US population is engaged in all four healthy lifestyle factors. So I'm thinking that is health, and like working out, physical, eating right, spiritual, and mental, like mental health. And so that's pretty sad. That's really pretty sad, that it's only 6.8% out of our total population. So with that being said, what are some of the healthy and realistic ways to get started in this transformation from this unhealthy lifestyle to a healthy lifestyle? And so you could go here. I'm sorry.
Me, coach,
You
I'll
go ahead.
start.
Man.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll start. So here's how I normally do it, and as obviously there's several ways to get started, and whatever works best for you. What I do is I give people some kind of options, right? And the options I wrote them down is we start with the healthy habit, just one, right? Because there's a lot of things you can do, but I want to make it simple. Simplistic, people tend to stay with it longer, so I want to make it very, very simple. So the choices are: we start with 1 of 5 choices, and you make a list when I first get with you to kind of get you going. And that's number 1 is drink 64 ounces of water daily. So just intake your water. That's not really dramatic, nothing you have to do with your lifestyle. You can do that on your own. Just get a container. That's pretty much the investment there. You try to consume that water every day. And the first goal is 21 days of that. So that's healthy habit number 1. Number 2, go for an evening walk. Right? Not a gym membership, nothing crazy. We're starting at a low level. The bar should be very low, so you can kind of build some consistency and get in the habit. Right? That's number 2, and that's the choice. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Number 3 is go to bed by 9 or 9:30. Right? A lot of people stay up late. They got the phones. They got a lot of stuff going on. It's just distractions. Just try to shut those down and get in bed by 9:30, right? Again, this is whatever works best for you, your choice. Number 4 on that list is we start with eating a healthy breakfast. Most Americans don't eat breakfast. They kind of drink coffee and move on. That's not breakfast. We need something that is going to sustain our body. It means something that's healthy, right? And that's the start of the day to break that fast, get everything going. That's number 4. And then the last one is I incorporate breath work for 10 minutes a day. And your goal there is to work on how to breathe. Most people have dysfunctional breathing. They have a high stress, high blood pressure, other things going on. And we start one of those. So you got 5 choices. You pick whichever one works best for you. But my goal is I want a 90% commitment level. So I can commit to evening walks at 90%. That's very doable. Not a lot of like hurdles in my way and obstacles. I can get that done. That's on you and your lifestyle. If you're home at 9:30 at night, it ain't gonna happen. So that's not your choice. You want me to pick that one because it probably won't work on a consistent basis. But I can drink water. Cool.
Yeah.
Start there. So I make it simple, and obviously there's more choices out there, I'm sure. I just do 1 of 5 because people kind of have like a kind of a framework And I'm big on that. Just get a framework going, and we go from there.
That's good. Those are really good ones. One of my friends who's lost a bunch of weight, I remember way back when, and she was just like, it's just so important to drink the water. She's like,
Right.
if you could just drink the water, drink the water. Because before, you would hear that half your body weight. And if you're a big girl, like I was, I ended so last Monday, I officially made it because I was stuck at 48 and 49 pounds. Officially made it at 50.6 pounds, right? Off that I've lost since last at the end of February, beginning of March. So thank you. I'm super excited about that. I was like, I'm not gonna give myself credit beforehand. And I've been going slow with it. But the water thing. The water was such a big thing, and I really didn't enjoy water, and I just had to figure it out. Put the lemon in it, do something, flavor the water at first, and then if you get tired of that, you're like, I just want regular water, and then eventually you just start to enjoy it. But it makes a big difference to do that 64 ounces of water for sure, and that sleep thing, because I'm bad at that. I go to bed pretty late, so I gotta really. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do to make myself really do it, but I got to do it.
Well, you pick the one that works for you, though, right?
Yep,
So maybe
right.
I can't go to sleep. That's not my lifestyle. Ain't gonna happen. That's okay.
Right.
But I can drink water. That's it.
I can drink water, and I
can
walk.
I can walk. Whatever it works for you. That's all I say.
Awesome. So, Mike, it's your turn. What would you say are some realistic ways to transform?
What I am going to say for those in the industry that's making an impact, they're going to be talking the same language.
Yeah.
The same language. Like I say, everything he just said, the framework within the simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I mostly work or specialize in working with super busy people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So finding something that they can stick to. So I open up with a wellness evaluation. Like, let me see what your day is like. Let me see what your schedule's like, your week is like, and then find the holes within that we can fill with things you're already doing that's just easy to do. You know what I'm saying? People try to go in the gym and kill themselves or eat salads, all day long and greens and fruit. Like, you don't have to overindulge straight out the gate. Just like you said with your journey, like pick a few simple things. And that's something I pay attention to as well is the water. Protein. A lot of people don't get a lot of protein they're supposed to get. You know what I mean? So high protein, which is going to stop you from snacking. You nibble on this and that and don't be full, so you keep snacking all day long. So as well as the staying up late, as he said, because that gets you in trouble, myself included. Like, like go to bed.
Rolling, talking. What they say? What's going on?
Your favorite show is on like a snack. This show, you get yourself in trouble. Yeah. Most importantly, I try to figure out their why. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Why do they want to get in shape? Why do they want to fix whatever aspect it is that they're looking for? Because if I can keep them attached to that, then it's easier to get them to be consistent. As well as he was saying, like even walking, like don't do nothing you try to see me do on Instagram. Okay, like that's we're different people. You don't have to do that to get in shape or whatever. I ran like 6th grade, so like I just love running. Like you don't have to do that. You don't have to lift the weights up. Don't gauge that. And I think a lot of people don't get started out of the fear of that or the intimidation of that, not noticing that each person has their own journey. Like you can reach the best you, and it's gonna look different. Even all three of us on here, it's gonna look different. You know what I'm saying? Our journey's there, but just getting started. And as he said, and as you said, work for you, choosing the simplicity things that you can stay consistent with. You know what I'm saying? And as well, I do 21 days. They say 21 days takes to gain a habit. Mm-hmm. And the water, protein, them incorporating veggies and such. Once all you got to do is get a person where their body feels different. They can feel the changes in the motion. After that, you pretty much good to go. The challenge is keeping it simple so they can be consistent enough to feel those changes. Then they can ride off in the sunset.
Yeah.
Legit.
That's no, that's so good. The little things, it's the little things. Like for me, I started with the challenge and I never really got on the challenges, but I'm starting to realize like okay, maybe challenges actually help me, but I just started with a random number. It wasn't 21 days. I randomly picked 20 days. I said, I'm gonna work out for 20 days and I ain't gonna tell nobody until I do it,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes it's kind of like all the other, voices. You just need to hear yours. You need to be focused and just do it. So I had the challenge to do 20 days. And also to add to that, I was just like, well, what makes me feel good and energized? Because my biggest thing is feeling tired towards about after 2 o'clock. I'm like, I don't want to do nothing. I just want to chill and I need my time. And so I said, okay, so you got to work out before 2 o'clock, period.
Right.
Right. So whether that's before work or it's somewhere in your lunch break, if you have a long enough time for your lunch break, do it. So I used to have more flexibility at the job that I was at then. So I had like a little longer for lunch. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to work out at lunch and I could take it whenever. Right. So I said, perfect. Today I might take it at 10. Tomorrow I might take it at 11. Whatever I do, it's got to be before 2 p.m. when I start to feel like, ugh, I don't want to do nothing. That, and then I felt like, as far as workout clothes, shorts. I'm just like, well, usually I feel free around the house with shorts on. I'm dancing or just doing whatever. I just feel free, and like my legs, they're just free. I don't have anything that's hot on my legs. I'm weird like that. I like long sleeve. See, a long sleeve tops, but shorts, so my legs are free and I can just move.
Okay.
So crazy as that may sound for some people, I just decided to go get on Amazon. I bought 3 of the same type of shorts. They're real cool. I like the pockets. They were cute to me. And I was like, okay, this is going to work for me. Got them. And I felt good about it. And before I knew it, I hit the mark, the 20 days past that, and I was at 32 days straight. And then I said, okay, I have nothing else to prove. Now I'm just going to work out, several days during the week. And so I did the 5 days every week for a year and some change. And then I said I would fluctuate between 4 and 5 days, but mostly 5. And I said, that's amazing, because before you would never catch me working out that frequently. I work out like 3 days during the week. And if I worked out 4, the next 2 weeks, I ain't did nothing. Cause I'm like, I did that. And then no workout. So it's crazy. Like the things that you have to do to get yourself either motivated or to stick with something. It's just like, you really have to find what it is that makes it click for you. So
Right.
Everything you guys said is so spot on and just amazing, because you can tell the variety that you guys have on both sides, that you guys see that, obviously 10 years of being in the industry, you're gonna know some things.
Right.
And you're being an athlete. So
Can I
going
add
into
one point on that?
huh?
So can I add one point on that? Be
Yes.
careful. I tell anyone, not just V, but motivation goes up and down. So I try to focus more on, we want to build healthy habits because I don't know how you'll feel in 6 months.
Yeah.
Right. Life could throw you a curveball. Like, I ain't feeling it.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't want to focus on that. We want to focus on, this is a routine I'm trying to establish, and it's part of my lifestyle. So I just do lifestyle coaching and build those habits, because if you're waiting on motivation, maybe this year you feel it, but maybe by the summer you don't feel it. Right. It'll always change. So we want to think about really focus on building consistency and habits over motivation.
Yeah. No, it's so true.
Long-term goals.
Yeah, you're right though, because that's actually what ended up happening. It just became a habit. And so now, like, I don't know, I cannot not do it. Like the first time I left and went out of town to go home, I stayed for 2 weeks, and I was actually, that thought was haunting me. I was just like, what's going to happen going home, to my parents' house where my mama is cooking this bomb food all the time. And there's no gym. Like, they live out in the country. There's nothing there. There might be a few weights, but there's nothing. Like, what am I going to do? Because I have this routine and I live on the same hall as the gym. And then I buy all my stuff here. When I go home, it's going to be cookies. It's going to be, it's going to be a bunch of carbs, which blow me up. It's going to be nothing good, unless my mom is happens to be on her health kick at that time. So I was terrified.
Right.
And then I said, okay, you got to do something. If you got to get up in the morning and just dance around and just move your body twice a day, you got to do that. And then you got to have the discipline so you're not going backwards. And I was able to do it because of the habit. And then as soon as I got back off the plane and came home at 6 something in the morning, I said, let's hit this gym real quick, because after we get off work, we're going to bed. So that's what I did. But you're 100% right. So going into our next question, what are some of the biggest challenges and misconceptions about taking this journey?
So I would say for me, most people I've heard it's usually two things. Number one is not understanding the mental side of health and fitness. And I think that's a big thing and big component that kind of deters people or messes them up. Because they think about motivation, like I said earlier, it's more about habits, right? And building routines. But also just know that, it requires focus. It requires you to do things you don't feel it sometimes. And that's hard. Because you're not going to feel like working out several days or eating healthy. So just know that's part of the deal. The second thing is nutrition is a big thing. Coach Mike, I'm sure you can talk more about it. But nutrition is a big thing because people think like salads, and that's the end of nutrition. Like I'm eating a salad. I'm gonna be healthy. I'm eating a salad. But number one is what are we trying to do with nutrition, right? Not just a salad. What is the goal with nutrition? And then you eat I tell my clients, we're trying to eat to how we want to feel. So you want to feel energized. You want to feel like high blood pressure, right? That means heavy foods that weigh you down. Be aware of that. You want to be aware of acid reflux when you eat, right? So I had enchiladas. Okay. Then I felt a lot of burping and woo. So is that what you wanted to do? Maybe it doesn't sit well. But our first goal is to be aware of, like, when you eat a food, how is your body responding to that?
Yeah.
You got to become aware of that because everyone's stomach is different. Acid reflux is different for everybody. When you eat carbs, do you bloat? Like, I can fit my pants and then tomorrow I can't, but I don't know why. Croissants.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what got me? That got you, right? I'm in Texas, so red meat. You be killing. You go steak. I mean,
steaks everywhere.
My gout flared up. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I was lethargic. I don't know why. What I mean, if you're lethargic, it's coming from when you eat certain foods, your the blood sugar levels are going too high. Right?
Okay.
Right. Also, nutrition is my blood sugar levels are very low. Case in point, after 2:00, I get tired.
Yeah.
That's blood sugar.
Oh.
Your blood sugar levels are dropping. Right. I just wait till dinner. Or I don't eat a snack. These things are making you feel a certain way. We want to become mentally aware of this. Right. How do foods affect my body? And that's different for each of us. Right. I don't know how enchiladas work for you. Maybe I'm good. Maybe you're not good. I don't know. How do carbs work for you? Right. If I eat high carbs, how do I feel? Everyone does not feel the same with that meal. So we want to become aware of how do foods affect our bodies, right? And that's brain, that's maybe even like bloating, right? People are like, I'm bloated today. That's also like people say, like I know a lot of clients say, oh, my hormones are out of control. Yeah, but Jameson was a lot of shots last night. It's not hormones.
It's not hormones.
It's not hormones. Okay, that's called Jameson. It's a drink. You had too many. But people are not aware. No, they're not aware. These things are affecting you, and you're like,
you're right.
Oh, our family has bad this. It's not a family issue.
It's your habits.
You're doing too much, right? But you're not aware. You're not connecting dots. So the first thing I want to connect those dots. When I eat a lot of carbs, I get bloated. And for
Yeah.
weirdly, I can't fit my clothes. And the next day I can. What happened?
It's like you be swelling and coming up
Yeah.
and down, up and down. And you're like,
It's not random.
okay.
It's not random. Okay. It's not random.
Yeah.
Right. My gout flared up randomly. It's not random.
It's,
Not random. Okay. You got to start connecting dots. So
yeah.
what caused that? What caused your gout to flare up?
Right. And a lot of times too, people, one thing I feel like helps me is my fitness pal, keeping that journal, because
Mhm.
when you have that journal, you're able to go back, like you're saying, that awareness, it helps you with awareness. So for me, it's like, oh, I was doing really good. I felt good these few days. Let me go back and look on those days and see what was I eating on those days, because then that might be able, well, it will, as you're saying, be able to tell me like, oh, so when I eat like this and I have this rhythm, it starts to make me feel this way. Because what I realized once I started charting it and then getting into the, you know, the fitness thing and trying to change my eating habits, at first I was like, no, I'm not gonna, I don't want to eat the same thing every day and or just consistently like that. But I realized I do eat the same things like as far as every week. And so I'm like, okay, well, now I've incorporated these things. What is it doing for me? Is it helping me or is it making me worse? Or am I seeing like influx where I gain weight around this time and then these other days it's like I'm looking smaller, I'm not looking bloated, I'm not, you know, how does it look? Because that's the thing. You wake up and be like, oh, I'm kind of cute today. And then other days you might be like, who's this? Like, you look terrible. And it's just like, okay, what's going on? So that awareness, it really, it's almost like a formula, you know, too. When you really get to know it, you're like, oh, okay, because I can do this these days. This could be my meal plan. And boom, I'm gonna be still looking good on Saturday. So, when I go out. So
Awareness. Yeah. I get it.
Awareness doesn't work, as my sister always says. So Mike, what would you say those misconceptions are and about?
You know, you have us on here, but you are giving gold in your testimony
Oh,
alone. Like your testimony of what you going through is like a whole segment within itself.
oh man.
That's the work that people don't want to do.
Yeah.
People aren't looking for results, they're looking for fast results. You know what I mean?
I was there once upon a time.
Microwave results. I mean, that's in period right now. That's what we're living in. But especially within fitness, it's just like, yo, I got this vacation on the 30th. Today's the 17th. I need to lose 20.
It's like, what? That's not even gonna happen.
No.
Stop playing yourself.
That part. And people think not eating or starving themselves, you know, it's a large misconception with that. I will say though, the Lord made us so beautiful. You know, the body protects us in great ways. So you're not eating, but you still running around doing 30 errands. You working 60 hours a week. You know, your body is storing up that fat to use for energy. You know what I mean? As opposed to you having your meals eating every 2 or 3 hours, so you can get your metabolism back up to speed. You know what I'm saying? It may take some time. It ain't gonna be what we did in high school out the gate, you know, but over time, through that consistency, you can speed back up to where you even burning more calories at rest. You know what I mean? While you at work, sitting in the chair, you know what I'm saying?
Burn, baby, burn. Burn them up. Burn them in the midsection, Lord.
Yeah, man. But yeah, people not really wanting to put in that work to find out what works for them and just find the latest fad or the newest fad and being honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, you're like, I wonder why this is kicking up and that kicking up. You didn't add in everything you did over the weekend. Like I seen you.
Right.
I seen your story at brunch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad. But when Monday be crazy on our way in, like don't like look surprised. You know,
don't look surprised. It was all the mimosas, the bottomless mimosas.
And the fried chicken. Like, yeah, your stomach is hurting because we ain't been doing that. You know what I mean? And it's people staying consistent long enough for the body to regulate the new things you're incorporating within it. Because something I found out in the last few years, I put a microscope on, was people's digestive system. You know what I mean? Like you've been eating, however, you've been eating for a long time. You know what I mean? Just because you eat quote unquote bad more than most of the time, and then you have a week of good, like that ain't gonna do nothing. It's a step in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? But you got to give your body a chance and put it even in a position to absorb all the new nutrients and healthy ways of eating that you're doing. It's not an overnight process. You know what I mean? Yeah. So getting people to humble themselves to that and the accountability. You know, I had to face it a long time ago. I'm sure Ben did too. When people say no, they're not saying no to you as a trainer, health person. They're saying no to themselves. It's like I'm not ready to tap in and check in on. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the thing that gets you over the hump, because it's challenging to do it by yourself. Even myself, you know, it's been a couple times I got hurt in some other things. Mentally, if you got somebody riding with you or to double check you, you know what I mean, to go on a journey with you, it makes it a little bit easier to stay consistent. It makes it easier to adopt the habits. Even on my social media, like I start saying it recently, and I didn't know the type of impact I was making because I had put a picture of the gym like I do, and I was clocking in, but I don't want to be here. I got done with the workout. I had like 30 messages, like something wrong with something wrong. I was like, no, I'm human.
Not here on this earth.
Like the gym. I'm human. I don't care who you talk to in the fitness industry. Everybody today's like, I'm not feeling like today.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But like Dan was saying, if you've made it a habit, then as you said, I said you was giving us goal. Like when you go home, it's like I'm enjoying the food, I'm loving the family, but I know I didn't get my body moving today. Yeah. And I got to get it moving. But that's because of the habit you built in them 20 days.
Yeah, yeah, 32.
So it's getting people to be open to the accountability and the work that it's really going to take, because
you got it.
All life gives us is microwave results. Like you take this, you get this. You take that, you get that. You know what I mean? Not actually, you have to sit down, incorporate new habits, get rid of some old habits for an extended period of time, so they'll become consistent to breed the results you want, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And then learning your body, like you guys mentioned that too, and but it's true. There's sometimes you don't feel like it, and there's also, just to add for the people out there, there are times when you're working out for however long, and like you were saying, your body to catch up. And sometimes you may feel like, I've been working out for a long time and I don't really see the results, that I want to see. Because we do feel that way. We want those instant results, or we feel like, well, I did this, so I need to see, my body look like I'm just stacked and together. And it's like, well, no, like you need to even understand actually how it works. Because I didn't understand how it works. And like, Daryl, he's one, who thankful to Daryl. He works, in the background and does all the technical stuff for me. But he'll in the beginning, he was just definitely encouraging me. It's like, can't be weighing yourself every day, just to go one day at a time, as long as you are progressing, it's good. The change is happening. You may not just see like this overnight, you just looking snatch, he didn't say snatch, but basically you're just like, you're not gonna I don't even think he used that word, but basically you're not gonna see it like immediately, but the change is happening. And if you focus on the number on the scale and obsess about that, you're gonna get discouraged, if you don't see the number you want to see, and that might make you quit. Well, essentially, and it could, because sometimes it's like, what am I doing this for? If I'm not losing weight, I might as well I can eat the food and just work out a little bit and then stay the same weight. But it was just like, no, I needed to get the pounds off. I had to get them off. I was like, my fear was being in the airport, at the airplane, and having to get 2 buckles, because I seen some video online, and the man was so big, he had to get 2 buckles, like 2 of the seat belts. And see, for me, my waist is a lot smaller than my hips, but the way that I'm sitting, my hips was just like, I had to like slouch down, put the little buckle on, because my waist was good, but them hips was like, no ma'am. No ma'am. And so I said, that can't happen to me. I would want to die on that plane. If they say, ma'am, you're going to have to buy another ticket, or we're going to have to get an extender for 28B. No. I said, the next time I go home, I need to see a difference with this buckle. And I did. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah. Well, yeah. So I had
Can I add one more to that real quick?
Yes.
A big thing is I always say expectations and timelines.
Okay.
Because for some reason, I don't know, everyone has their own thought process, but people are like, hey, I ate good this week, so I'm about to really lose about 15. Like, I don't know, like it's not gonna happen. But people have that, and so that's why they usually quit. Like, I worked out for like a week and a half. Every day I did cardio. So I'm gonna get this big time result. Mm-hmm. And so a big part of my coaching is like, hey, so the minimum time is 6 months of consistency for us to see results. So if you're looking at week, 10 days, 5 days, 7 days, I mean, you always get your feelings hurt because it takes a while for the metabolism and the nervous system to kind of figure out what you're doing. It's like inputs and outputs. And so you can't talk to somebody one time, because I train a lot of kids, I train a lot of people in general. I need reps. And so my minimum reps for anybody is 1,000. You got to do a lot of reps. But people be doing 7 reps and be like, why am I not shooting like Steph Curry? Like, well, first of all, you shot 7 baskets. So the timeline is off. So that's what makes them get deterred or they quit. But Steph Curry shot for like how many shots you think he's taken in his life? It's millions. Like, it's a lot of shots. Right. And so what people mess up is their big misconception is their timeline. Because I did 12 shots or 13 of something, and they expect this big time return, right, on their investment. But it's like investments. You can't invest $1,000 and expect to get $1,000 back in a week. Where's this at? I would have found that out a long time ago. Where is this at? It doesn't happen that way. So we got to be on the same page that we don't want to go in there with I'm investing money and we're playing the long game.
Yeah, the long game.
Playing the long game. Is everybody clear? So you won't be putting $1,000 up and going. Does that make sense?
Right.
It takes a time. It takes some time.
Yeah, I agree. You're right. And it'll make it easier for you. You just be like, okay, good. Well, I'm proud. You can just be proud of yourself that you stayed with it because you are transforming. It's not a temporary change. It's not a New Year's resolution that you're going to be failing in January 20th. It's how can I change this to become a part of my lifestyle so I'm not depressed? I'm not worried about, am I going to be this size or look this way for my wedding? Am I going to be able to get into this bikini or be able to, as for men, am I going to be able to wear no shirt on the beach in Jamaica? It's like, you could wear it. Might not have that. Body might not be looking like you wanted to, but it's a lifestyle, change, and those simple things, little things will make a difference. Yeah. So let's see here. All right. So, I mentioned earlier how multiple factors contribute to the obesity and having a healthy lifestyle, having an unhealthy lifestyle. Also, we often hear the phrase that it's all about your mindset. So I wanted to ask if there were different things that you guys can offer for people who are seeking a healthier lifestyle that want to transform the way that they look and feel. And then also you can add your last words on of advice and give us different ways to prepare for the challenges ahead. So I talked about the eating, the mental health, having different illnesses, culture, all these different things that make it more challenging for you to do this. I mean, we're African Americans, and we know the food the food in our culture, it could put some pounds on. I mean, it could. It's good. Um, you feel like it's necessary to, like if someone's cooking, like you got to eat, what's on your plate. That whole thing, you came up with that mindset that if you don't eat, you're in trouble, type of thing, if you don't clean your plate. And so we have a lot of resources now. So it's not really an excuse, but that doesn't make it any less hard when this is the way that you've come up, and you have these type of people around who are like, hey, brunch again. You got Saturday and Sunday, you going to brunch. And then, you eating out. Now you got a new job. So it's something about when you got more money that you like, ooh, I can go eat here. I don't know what it is. But the more money, more eating. Maybe it's just me or people, that I've been around, but that's the thing. So what words of advice can you give us for those people who are just like, I want this healthier lifestyle? Help me, because how can you help me prepare to have my mind right going into this thing?
So there's a saying, I don't know who it credited to. I heard of a philosopher, his name is Jim Rome, said, how you do anything is how you do everything. So you can't want to just upgrade, just your fitness right here, and then the rest of life is just like whatever. You know what I mean? So it's going to take you changing your environment and your mindset. I'm very big. I see in clients a couple times a week, some personal development. To break that down, that's like Eric Thomas, any preacher you could think of, just a positive affirmation to get your mind started in the morning on the right wave. And I even do it like midday, because life is life. Life is going to be happening. That's something that I've really been pushing the last few months. Because goals are easy, right? This is my new philosophy. Goals are easy, right? But life is what makes it complicated, because Ben can say, hey, eat this at this time, eat at 12, 3, and 6. You're going to work out at 8, go to sleep at 9:30. That's your schedule. But then you might have some stuff going on with your spouse. You may have to work late at the job. The kids may be tripping. That's going to make it funky. You know what I'm saying? So having the right mindset, and just like you contributing new habits to build your fitness journey, your nutrition journey, you got an incorporation of new things that's going to take your mind some places. So I would say you can get on YouTube and type in personal development. You can type in motivation, inspiration, any of those things, and just click it, whatever you got time for. They're as short as 5 minutes. You can go as long as an hour, but just something to get your mind tuned, geared towards where you want to go.
I love that.
To help fight something else as well as your environment. So I tell people all the time, like I have clients, and she be like, "Oh, my husband took me to dinner, okay, but he didn't order on the menu for you." Like you can go to dinner, you know what I'm saying? You can go to brunch to these other things. It's just getting people mindful of
what are you ordering? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. If you just know you're not strong enough, don't go. But you don't have to miss out. You know what I mean? You can go, laugh and giggle. I throw shots at people all weekend. It's out of love, though. You know what I'm saying? Like the grind includes the weekend. Or if I go enjoy myself, I just got done with a challenge I started on January 1st. It's called 75 Hard. And I still went to weddings, parties, everything else. And I would just comment on social media like I still had an amazing time, even though I had the chicken and asparagus and everybody else was taking shots for shots. Like I didn't have any less of a time. Because wherever we at, you're going to be on a different journey.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
your friends and I want to get healthy at the same time. Because even I got lifelong friends. Like I said, I've been doing this over a decade. There's some that's still out of shape. That's cool. I love you. I'm going to keep throwing it at you, but it's not their time yet. You know what I mean? To where they want to invest like that, So humbling yourself to know that you're going to have to change full circle, but it doesn't have to be drastic, as Ben and yourself were saying earlier, incorporating those small things to move you forward. And really everything starts in the mind. You get what I'm saying? The body will follow the mind, even in the weight room. You know what I'm saying? You think you done, you can't push no more. Mentally, you talk to yourself a little bit and get it going. Like out of nowhere, you're gonna get going. You know what I mean? Right. skills you may not
Gas me up. Especially with you. Gas me up. You see that too, like even with sports, when somebody just gets to yelling and stuff like that. You got this, keep going. One more. And you're just like, I can. You're right. Like now you start hearing what they're saying and you're telling yourself that back. It's like those affirmations, so I love what you were saying about like, hey, get on the internet, whatever you got to do. We got our phones in the gym. We always listen to music or something. E.T., he be getting me crunk. I'm like, I'm not an athlete or anything, but I be like, yeah, let's go. And I'm one of those that I'm like, I'm sorry. My friend, she'll work out to Christian music, but I don't. Like, I love God. I'm a Christian, but and sometimes I just have to pray, and that's my prayer time. I might listen to like some gospel as I'm slowing down. I need that ratchet music when I'm getting pumped up. I'm sorry. That's what it is for me. Because then I just get amped up and I'm like, hey, told him go harder. Let's go. Like, and I just go. Like, I'm hyping myself up. So it's a mindset. Like, you got this. Last week, you did this many. You could do this thing this week, so I have to do that.
That's the challenging part of working with people, because they want that part of the accountability. Pump me up, tell me I'm doing great, I can do this. But then when you go cat off for the whole weekend and I ask you, how bad do you really want this? Do you want it like you say you did? You're offended, but like I gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a complete because I need you to think of and be mindful of, okay, just like you said, when you went home, you're gonna be like, okay, if you're out at brunch, like, I done had 3 of these things. Do I really need another one? Like, we need to spark that. You get what I'm saying? So that's real big mentally on everything. And plus, as we were saying, with people's schedules and so and such, myself, so I also utilize out of just regular food for nutrition. I work with Herbalife, right?
Yeah.
Because people's fast paced, right? So I have a shake, instead of you blowing breakfast or you blowing lunch, because a lot of people only eat like once a day. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I heard that actually hurts you.
How are you even functioning? But
I don't
again,
know.
it was made so beautiful. Thank you, Lord. It however your habits are, it curves to it to make sure you don't just fall out in the street. You know what I'm saying? But
for so long.
I was gonna say that. I was getting to that.
So long. Because the vitamins, like, I was like, dang, I feel horrible and I feel a little mean. I'm hungry. I took the vitamins with no food, like no food. Don't play yourself with that. Why. Don't do that, because the vitamins your stomach either will be tore up or you will just feel like death, by not eating something, with those vitamins. You got to do it. But carry on.
And I'm a 10-year-old fat kid, so I'll never get how you don't love food. Like, I love food like religiously. You don't love food? No, I do. Okay. I'm saying I don't get how you don't when people say I eat a day. And I know some people like, you work 80 hours. How are you? What? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So your body feeling energized, as he was talking about earlier, like you dead in the middle of the day. All those things are coming from a nutritional aspect. You do what I'm saying? So it's really just getting people to be mindful of that and open and humble to the journey of finding out what works for them for longevity. Because I tell people all the time, so Herbalife is what I chose, right? But then, there's intermittent fasting, there's the keto, etc. I tell people all of it work, to be completely honest. Yeah. But each of them have an after effect, but each of them as well, you need to pick and choose a flow that you can stay consistent with. Right. Not just, as I said earlier, the wedding is coming up. You know what I'm saying? The girls' trip is coming up. You know what I mean? Pick something that you'll be able to utilize to where you can just stay consistent as a lifestyle. Because that's what we work in the build for you is a lifestyle of health. And by default, if you give your body needs what it needs, you're going to look good. Everything, but the body don't like holding on to the extra nonsense and being unhealthy and all that. So if you're doing what you need to, the water, the protein, the veggies, your schedule, your sleep, as he was saying as well, because that's real big too. And the digestive is going, in your words, snatch up. It's going to snatch up. You're going to be a lean machine.
I'm through.
And give yourself time for that to take place, though. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen in 30 days. It's not. I'm going to say that all week. It's coming like, you know when summer is every single year.
It don't
People
change.
people start getting them notifications from Memorial Day weekend. Hey, Mike, I got a trip in 3 weeks. Like, I'm not Jesus. Like, what do you want me to do for you? Like, what do you? I give you a little confidence. Like, hey, I worked out the last 3 weeks, but like, you limiting yourself, you know. And I can keep rambling. Just people humbling themselves to the process to go for longevity and a lifestyle as opposed to a momentary result.
I get it.
Absolutely.
Good. Coach Mike legit.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So
It's funny because I would say we're saying the same thing, right? And everyone has their method to the madness.
Right.
But it's nothing new in it the sun. I'm sure Coach Mike would agree. Most things are pretty similar if you're on the same page, right? Mm-hmm. So my thing is similar to what he said, just a different wording. I just do an acronym. My background is running track. That's why I know Josh Norman. He ran with me, Texas A&M and all that. So my acronym is FAST, FAST, right? And so number one is the F is for focus. That's the mental part. That includes our brain health, neuro, mental awareness, habits, and meditation, right? So we want to focus on that and become good in those areas. And maybe one is what works for you, but maybe not the other. I can't meditate, but I can become more aware of mindfulness, right? So that's where I would start with anyone. And it's all predicated on your why, right? So that's the overarching thing is, why are we here? What do you want to accomplish? Why, right? What's driving you? What's your inner voice? What's behind just looking good in jeans, right? Let's take a step further than that, right? But that starts with their mindset. So that's our focus. The A is for agility. Agility is important because we want to not just think about movement like an athlete, but more about life does give you some ups and downs, and you have to be aware of that. So I have a thing we call the Hollywood principle. We have 3 shows tomorrow. It's going to be at 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. I need you to make one of the shows because most people say I can't make 6:30. Cool.
The other ones.
All I want to hear is, what time show can you make? I don't want to hear the other stuff. What show can you make? But everybody can make one of those times. Let's just focus on what we can do, not what we can't do. I can't run a marathon. Cool, but I can't walk in the evenings. Moving on. Just have your agility ready. But that includes your movement, working out, performance. It could be following the program. But essentially, it's all about your rhythm. We're trying to find our rhythm. And everybody's rhythm might be slowly different. I go slower rhythm because I can't do all that extra. Cool. But then some people more, I train a lot of CEOs. So they're always like, they want to do high intensity, hardcore stuff at 5 a.m.
Like a HIIT workout.
But they're not getting them at 5. 5 o'clock in the morning is hard to do and sustain, right? For a long period of time. So that's not your deal. Right? Maybe I can work out at my lunch, or I can work out after work, whatever time works for you. But just understand agility is the thing we want to focus on because things are always changing. Oh, I was at my mom's house. I wasn't at my house, so I had to eat bad. No. You don't eat bad. No.
Correct.
You gotta make some adjustments. Right. But that's the concept, right? The S is for sustainability. We want to be consistent. We got to find what things you can do that will keep you sustainable for long term and consistent over the year, over 6 years, over 6 months, whatever it is for you. And that includes nutrition, mindfulness, intermittent fasting could be a thing. Carb cycling could be a thing. You can be a vegan. We can take a detox, right? It all changes, but my goal is, what can you do that's sustainable, right? What's 3 breakfast things you eat every day for the rest of your life? It ain't gonna be brunch. I mean, that ain't it. But it's whatever you can do on a normal, sustainable basis. That's what we're trying to establish. Because people are so like all over the place. They eat random. We don't want random. Okay, what like Mike 8, 12, 3. What are we doing? What's your deal? That's your consistency you're trying to form. Why? What controls everything in weight loss or weight gain is metabolism. True. So you control it. It's a rhythm-based hormone, right? It has to be controlled by you. But we don't want to let blood sugar levels go really low or go really high. I want those small waves up and down, That's all we need to do. We'll make more gains. Number one, but number two is there's no like hangry for 4 hours. Like, yeah, you was tripping last night because I was hungry, right? And then I was like, I can't go. I'm so tired. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, you didn't eat. So we want to stay consistent so I can be a good at my work, good with my family, good with my wife, my husband, my kids. I'm not an a-hole one day. The next day I'm loving. Like, dude, you weird. Right? That's all about your nutrition. That's about your lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
You didn't sleep in 2 days. Is that why you're angry? Yeah. Oh,
Sleep.
I'm not aware. That's sustainable. You got, so what time can you go to bed, get a good night's rest, and get up tomorrow and have a good day?
And function.
It ain't 12 midnight. I promise you. You can't do 12 midnight. You won't be able to do it. Your body doesn't have enough time to recover. That's just how the system works, right? So become aware of that and sustainability. The last one is the T is for teamwork. And teamwork's not just you, but it's also understand accountability partners, coaching, friends, but also other things that are not necessarily in the normal concept of fitness, but that includes massage, right? I think that's a big part of helping your body recover. Taking some time for yourself, right? Most people giving so much away, and then no one helps me out, and that's when you see like mental breakdowns because you kind of like been going hard for like 6 months. You really didn't take care of yourself. So now at this point, you're kind of like, I'm mad at everybody, and then I'm gonna run away, and then maybe some things happen such as depression, and I don't know what's wrong. Well, you got to do some things to help yourself get back on the horse and stay consistent, right? But that could be a massage, that could be self-care, that could be taking a walk, sitting in nature, doing things that you love to do. For instance, I fish. I have to fish like once every 2 weeks. It's good for me. It's a mental reset for me. I like to go by myself. That's just me. I'm a fish, stay out there and hang out 2-3 hours. That's it.
Yeah.
But that really helps recharge my brain body. And I love it, right? Most people do have nothing they love. They like work. And then, brunch is cool, but it's not a mental reset.
No,
like,
it's not.
For you, that fulfills you and like it makes your soul smile.
Yeah.
Right? Let's talk about that. Soul smiling is not the club. Soul smiling is deeper stuff that you really, right, connects with you on a deeper spiritual level. And that's, you got to find that for yourself. But that's your teamwork that encompasses everything about your soul, your spirit, and makes you feel better as a person, as a human being, right? So I can present myself better to the world tomorrow. And that's how I run it. But it same thing that Coach Mike said. I just got an acronym for them and put them in brackets. We focus on each one of those a month. We rotate those: focus, agility, sustainability, and then teamwork. So
that's so good. That's so good. And that stretching too. Like I love what you were saying about that. The massages, that's good. It's kind of giving back to yourself. I think with all of this, even though all of it's a mindset, right? Like this whole season, it's the underlining is going to be the mindset. If you want to transform anything, you have to transform your mind. But also what I would say, with it is get to a point where you motivate yourself, because you mentioned something about how you get to this place where you feel like no one's doing anything for you or whatever. You're like upset, because you've been working hard and you haven't really been doing anything that you love. You haven't taken that time for yourself or poured back into yourself in any way. And so now you're upset, really at yourself, but you're taking it out on everybody else. Yeah. If you get to the point where you say, okay, what if nobody is cheering me on? What if nobody is there to pick up the phone when I need someone to say something and pour into me? If you get to the place where you're working on your own mindset and motivating yourself, being self-motivated, nobody can stop you. because no one was
Right.
doing anything for you in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So if they keep not doing that, you good. But if they start, it's just extra. It's just the icing on the top. And so, yeah, I had to get to that place because that victim thing, like, well, if I just had this, and if someone would say this, and if this person would cook this way, and then all this stuff. No, 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 no. At the end of the day, it's gonna be on you because your body is going to be the one that feels terrible. And you not working the way that you want it to work. You're not feeling good. You can't stay out and do the things that you used to do, and that you enjoy doing because it's like you're not doing what you need to do. So yeah, the accountability, that self-motivation, and that self-love. It's more ways than brunch. It's more ways
Yes.
than buying stuff. It's that peacefulness that you said, that time where you can decompress by going fishing. It might be video games for somebody, just to have that moment, and then also have something that is feeding into them, like motivation, whatever it is that pours back into you. Got to make sure that's on deck, too.
Yeah.
Mike,
Yeah.
It is a must. I'm sorry, I gotta get it out because he brought it up. That's something we didn't talk about. That is vital. That me time, going to get a massage, going to chiropractor, those type of things. The world has made it seem like it got to be a holiday. It got to be your birthday. You know what I'm saying? It got to be some special occasion. Like, no, you need that to function. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You work a 40+ hour a week. You got a packed out schedule, and you just doing that 7 days a week. Or on your day off, you just like sitting at the house, but then you got the kids at the house running around. You got to take that time.
go, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel selfish, like, because you need that to function as well. That's gonna help fill up your cup to even put you in the place to be who you need to be for everybody else and yourself.
Amen, amen, amen. I say you can be selfish, not self like, what is it? Self-centered. You don't want to be self-centered, but being a little selfish, you gotta save some. Ben, your sister said it, and it stuck with me, is Anna. And she said, you don't owe everybody all of you. You got to save something for yourself. Save something for yourself. You're doing all this being a miracle worker for everyone else. You got to save some for you, and that's true. Because when you don't, you don't have what it takes to keep going. You're exhausted. You done poured everything out and nothing is coming back in. So
yeah, I tell that to clients. They'd be like, "Oh, I gotta do this for this and my kids." I'd be like, "Okay, you disregard your health and everything else. Now, what happens when you crash and burn? Then who they gonna have?
Nobody.
So you got to take that little time to make sure you right to keep being who you are being for them. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
And you're teaching them something too, like for them to not do that, because a lot of times,
to do that.
Yep, you see your parents do one thing, and then you do it. You're like, oh, my mom, she was always just working, doing all these things, and so I feel like it's normal. And then one day, you about to fall out, or you get somebody, and they're just like, hey, I'm here. You don't got to do all these things. You're like, huh? What you mean? This is foreign. It's a foreign concept. Like, I thought I got to keep doing everything. It's like, no, you're burning yourself with it on both ends. And we can't do that, y'all. It's just, loving on yourself is a super important part of all of this. And some folks, it might just be maybe going to the gym is not going to be your thing, but maybe dancing. You might be able to just break it down. Yeah. You might be like, it's time for the percolate. You might just go in. That might be your thing to get you moving and getting your body moving and doing that different form of cardio. Because when they talked about those different areas, just really quick, those different areas of healthy lifestyle, the factors earlier when I was giving those statistics, and they were saying those multiple areas, they also stated who works out more, who's higher up on that level, and it is Caucasian women. I automatically thought it was men because when I go to the gym, I always see more men than anyone. But there's different types of working out and health and fitness. Right. Pilates, there's aerobics, there's aquatic, aerobics where you're working out in the swimming pool, and there is, there's Pilates, there's yoga, there's hey, martial arts and stuff like that, and self-defenses course, or boxing, kickboxing, which is, I ain't there yet. That's a full body work. Boy, you'll be hurting after one time. You're like, oh, I don't want to go back. Um, but there's all these different, types of ways to work out and to get your body like moving. And so I'm like, oh, okay, so that's the thing. And Black women, we were the lowest on that. So I felt like it's an extra, it's epidemic for us the most because just seeing that, it just made me think like, dang, like this really is, it's a problem. It's a problem. And it
Yeah.
is like a lot of it is cultural, and mindset, and just how you've been conditioned. And so we got to transform it, guys. And
Yeah.
we're all in it together. And I just want to thank both of you guys so much for being here. I absolutely love this. I'm going to reference and go back to it time and time, just to keep myself motivated, because you guys dropped so many nuggets. This was a little for the free. So y'all can
Yeah.
thank me later to the audience. Thank you later.
Mm-hmm.
So let's let the people know how they can get in touch with you guys, even if it's just to follow you on social media to get those healthy lifestyle tips, or fitness tips. So just go ahead and Mike, if you can go first, go ahead and share how the people can get in contact with you for any services that you have, or if it's just to follow you.
Definitely follow is underscore Ferrell's Fitness underscore on Instagram, and I'm on there all day in some sort of way, whether I'm talking to people, whether because I still do research, like I've like fell in love with it, making an impact, and stuff is changing all the time, so the more I can learn, the more I can be of value in this space, you know what I mean? And as well on there, there's a in my bio, there's a link you can click to reach me directly, fill out a free wellness evaluation to get you going, whatever goals you may have, or whatever it is you're trying to reach, whether it's for summer or just regular like life, like period. My goal, which I'm sure being got that goal too, is like get people to reach out to us before something go wrong. You know what I mean? Before you go to that doctor visit, they be like, "Hey, you gotta do this by this time." Like, get started now.
Right.
You got two people right here more than willing to help you on a similar path, trying to get people to the right place. So definitely hit the IG, the D. I respond to DMs, or click that link. Either way.
Now, don't just be sliding into the DMs trying to holler.
Okay.
Get this fitness together. No, go ahead.
Just like Coach Mike, my IG primarily, how I get most of my clients and how I connect with them is Elevate Your Performance, Instagram, and I'm willing to give advice, help whoever I can. I have a few programs that I offer out of there once we kind of connect. I'm really big on if we're a good fit or referrals. I try to minimize because I've been super busy. So I try to always minimize my connection. But what I want to do is give all the advice I can. I have some ebooks as well that I offer people when they first start, kind of get them going in the right direction. But I would say a couple of things that are just consistency is probably the number one rule I go with. Number two would be balance, right? Find your balance. And then lastly, get some sleep.
He said that.
I mean,
That was for me. That was a word for me. I just
Mhm.
feel it because I feel like sleep came up so much. And I went to sleep at 4 a.m. this morning and I felt like crap while I was in the gym. I went,
Oh, wow.
but I felt like crap the whole time. Well, most of the time, about 75% of it. And then after I was like, I did it. I think that part is what gave me the little things like you almost done. So
I got you.
Thank you for that Sunday word. No, but all right. So, well, thank you so much, guys, for being here again, and to my beautiful audience, thank you for always rocking with us. And be sure to like and subscribe, and add some of your things. If you had some things that work for you on your fitness journey and just transforming your lifestyle, share in the comments, because you never know what's going to motivate the next person on
Right.
their journey. They may just be waiting to hear this person say something. They're like, oh, you get it. You get my struggle, for real. So do it. Share. We're all in this together. As I mentioned before, I love you guys, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good night.
Thank you, V. Appreciate